Hello everyone. So, in this video I'll be using some sound deadening material under the hood of my 2008 Toyota Tundra. Now, one thing to note when using sound deadening material under a vehicle hood, you have to make sure that you buy something that is safe to use under the hood because there's heat. So in this video we'll be using a product that is safe to use under the hood and should make a considerable difference in deadening the noise under the hood of my Tundra. Now, thank you to the sponsors of this video, Canopus butyl sound deadening mats, and these are 80 millimeters thick and can be found on Amazon for a really affordable price, but more on the specifics of this product a little bit later. Now you're probably wondering why I would want to sound deaden the sound of, well, this. I mean, you'll still hear it, but the reason why I wanted to choose an older, more loud vehicle is to basically show you more of the difference, because if you use a vehicle that is already well insulated, well sound deadened, then you might not hear the actual difference too well on YouTube. So I've been looking online for comparison videos for people that have used sound deadening material under the hood, and I had a lot of trouble finding some that were using actual decibel meters. Now, we'll be able to see the decibels when it's not insulated, and I'll be going around 100 kilometers an hour, that's 60 miles an hour on the highway, just to show you the difference, and also I'll rev it a little bit just to see if there's any difference. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't really realize when it comes to decibel meters is when you're sound deadening something, when you're deadening the sound and not actually soundproofing and blocking noise, you might not get a big difference on a decibel meter. But that doesn't mean that you don't get any difference in what you can hear physically with your own ears. Because when you deaden the sound, it makes a sound less annoying, less intrusive in the cabin of the vehicle. It might not actually register too much on a decibel meter. And also, one thing that a lot of people don't know is I hear a lot of people saying, oh, it only dropped it by 1 decibel or only dropped it by 2 decibels. But one thing is, if you drop the noise level by just 3 decibels, it essentially cuts down the noise in half of what a human ear can hear. So even if you only cut the sound by 1 decibel and in turn you deaden a lot of that noise and make it a lot less annoying, you've succeeded in what you were hoping to do. So remember that. All right, so now I'll be hopping on the highway and we'll be able to hear what it sounds like without any sound deadening material once that car passes. All right, now we'll take it. Now we'll take it to 100 kilometers an hour just to make it as most scientific as I can. Cruise control. All right, perfect. Now, right now it is registering. I'll just churn. All right, so now I have my decibel meter. There you saw at 100 kilometers an hour, it's about 75, between high 74s to low 76 decibels, which isn't really that bad for a 14-year-old Toyota Tundra. Let's just see if we can make the sound a little more deadened. Now that'll just give you an example for, of course, as I said, why would you want to deaden the sound of that V8 engine? Well, it's just to show you guys that if you have just an old beater and it's very loud, then these type of sound deadening material might just work, and they're actually not that expensive. But the first thing that you need to do before adding any type of sound deadening material is you need to clean under the hood thoroughly. Degrease it, get rid of all of that, make sure that it is clean and dry, and that is exactly what we will be doing right now. So here I'm just using Spray 9 to degrease under the truck hood. A little bit later, I was using Muck Off. It's a degreaser for bicycles, just anything that I had at home. and it will do the trick. This truck has been undercoated a few times, and as you can see, there is an excess amount of grease and it is pretty caked in. So when you spray the degreaser on it, just let it sit for a few minutes just to let it eat up inside to make it a lot easier for you. But the important thing is to get it completely all off so that before you install the sound deadening material, it sticks. And you just have to make sure that there's no oily film left behind, that it is completely clean and dry to the touch. So the sound deadening material I'm using for the hood of my truck is from a company called Canopus, and it is 80 mils thick, and it is a butyl sound deadener mat. Now you might have heard also sound deadening mats that are asphalt based products. Butyl products are a lot better because when it reaches a higher temperature, especially under a car hood, it will begin to, let's say, get a little bit more gooey and start melting a bit. And when that happens, it can lose up to 50% of its sound deadening capabilities. And also it will begin to smell, which is something that you really don't want in the cabin of your vehicle. Now the butyl at room temperature, where all automotive sound deadeners works their best, a comparable butyl rubber product will be about 35% more effective at automotive sound deadening compared to an asphalt based product. So remember that it stays hard and it doesn't begin to melt where it loses its effectiveness and begins to smell. Canopus is a company located in Long Beach, California. They guarantee your complete satisfaction, 100% money back if you are not completely satisfied with the product, which is a very competitive price at $25 when filming this video. And also you can use these types of sound deadening material for other things than just sound deadening a vehicle. You can use it to sound deaden a computer, and I've also used it in another video to sound deaden a generator to make it a little bit more quieter. So if you have a few pieces left over, don't throw it out, just use it to sound deaden something else. One thing to not forget when you buy any type of sound deadening material for your vehicle is to also buy a roller. It just makes it a lot easier to stick and it just works better. I'll have links in the description below for that as well. Alright, now that we have all of the sound deadening material that I wanted to install under the truck hood, it is time to go and check to see if it actually made a considerable difference. Alright, now that I'm clear, let's bring this baby to 60 miles an hour. Gas lights on. I'm pretty well screwed. I got about 20 kilometers left. I'm at 100 kilometers an hour. It's hard to hear without a comparison side by side, but let's see what it says on our decibel meter. As you can see there, it did drop the decibel reading by at least 1, if not 1.5 to 2 decibels. It is quite impressive the amount of decibel it did take away because, as I said, if you take away just 3 decibels, it takes the noise away by half if you're just listening with your human ears. So that's quite impressive if you can get away with just getting rid of 1 to 2 decibels by just adding a little bit of sound material underneath the hood. As I said, if you have an engine that makes a lot of noise, if you have a lot of rattles under the hood, that's where you should be putting it. If you're looking for more sound deadening where the surround sound system is, if you're getting a lot of vibrational noise with the bass, then you should add it in the doors and in the trunk. If it's a car, you should add it where the speakers are and just branch out, because it will basically try its best to get rid of the vibration and the bass it's creating. So it'll just make it for a better sound experience. As I'm driving this truck, I do hear that it is quieter, so I am quite impressed with just a little bit of sound deadening material that I've added in this truck, and hopefully you've learned something in this video. So thank you for watching.